Go on, Nick! Go on! Come on! Attack it!
Thank you.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Come on, Nick! Come on! You can almost see the end. Come on! Dig! Keep going, Nick! Keep going!
Tomorrow is the Matlock doubleheader, so I've got 2 hill climbs in one day. Starts off with Ryber, which is going to be roughly a 5-minute effort, and that's in the morning. I'm setting off at, haven't really looked, 10:40 maybe, and then Bank in the afternoon, which is a shorter effort. I haven't really looked at how much. I've cycled both of them, but the hill climb segments are a touch shorter than the official climb segments. In the lead up to this one, me and Piglet have been chatting, and I'm trying something a bit weird. I'm not normally particularly a taperer, but after I did quite well on Man Nip and Snake, having had a week off because of a cold, thought maybe actually the taper was quite good. So we've tried replicating something that Piglet used to do when he was rowing competitively, which is almost a week before an event, do 2 days of what's called super compensation. So really hard, like more intensity than you would do in normal training, to really properly knacker your body and nothing. Well, zone 1 the next day because I needed to commute, day off, and now my leg opener day. See if really hard then rest yields a really strong response, so that I kind of peak, last minute squeezing out a peak if you like. Who knows, but it's been a laugh trying it. It'll be something a bit different. So I'm just on with Coco now, spinning out my legs. I'll do half an hour pace partner, half an hour like progressive efforts, but never enough to build fatigue. And then Bike's going in the car, and I'm driving over to Matlock-ish. Originally we were all going to meet up the Burrito Titans and go for a ride today, which would have been lovely, except there's been a storm, so there's loads of flooding. Piglet, unrelated, broke his toe, so he's not coming anymore, which is a shame, because he can't squeeze his toe into a cycling shoe, which is fair enough. So it's just going to be me on my own tonight in a hotel that Piglet very kindly has sorted for me. I just need to go and say I'm Paul Hamlet and hope for the best. So yeah, I'll check in from the road after I've done these openers, but I'm looking forward to it anyway. So I need to go to Matlock any minute now, really, and I forgot to eat my dinner. Because the last check-in at this hotel is 8 o'clock, so it's bit of a pain timing wise for food. I need to eat a really early dinner. It's not quite 5 o'clock. I've got a second pot of food to eat when I get there. I'm just eating leftover risotto with loads and loads of reduced shellfish thrown on top, scallops and prawns. Delicious, sort of. It's a bit of a strange meal. Yeah, I need to eat this quickly and leave. So I'm in my hotel room that Piglet booked for us. I've made it over. Everything's okay around here. It's, you know, basic, functional, but nice and clean and properly cheap. But now I've got like 2 or 3 hours to kill. So, second dinner, whilst I watch Katie absolutely smashing some Zwift and Then I'm going to do a bit of admin, sort of race recce, get myself in the zone, bit of stretching. I'll probably have a shower, then bed, I guess. This is a bit of a throwback to like my PhD, when I used to spend a lot of time just in hotel rooms with nothing to do. It's a bit bad for the old mental health when you're doing it a lot. One night is absolutely fine. So yes, it's nice that I can watch Katie, and on the live stream we can sort of chat. It's like having a mate with you. Right. So I just dug out my little wash bag to go for a shower, clean my teeth and stuff, and I realised I never showed you guys the aftershave I made on my bike packing video. I've called it Arogl Beiciwr. It's Welsh for smell of the cyclist. It's heavy with civet musk, so it smells. Civet musk has a hint of death about it. I'm not going to be getting a job for Hugo Boss or Calvin Klein or anyone making fragrances anytime soon, but it was fun to make my own aftershave. See that castle on top of the hill there that looks like it's looming large over the landscape? Ryber goes from the elevation I'm at up to that. Starts steady and then zigzags all the way up to that castle. The sun isn't helping here, but in person it's really quite intimidating. It looks like you must just go up a wall to get there. So, feeling cold but feeling ready pretty much for this hill climb this morning. Went into the starting point. This isn't the HQ, it's just where we set off from, and I just dumped my jacket and gloves and leg warmers and stuff, draped them over a gate here. This is Ryber, just over a kilometre, as you can see, almost 11% average, but that comes very heavily in the second half of the course. So you roll out through this residential area, and today I've elected to give you guys the rear view as main, and the front-facing camera as the smaller section. My plan was to set off pretty hard. Now, if you were going for the old ride harder up the steeper bits, you wouldn't be going too deep here. But I thought, give myself absolutely no choice. When you get to the switchbacks of Ryber, you can't do threshold. You have to go deep. You have to go properly deep. So I thought, front end it. And I'll squeeze out more power. I'll have to squeeze out more power, because otherwise you fall off. And I'd been up there earlier today, and it was slippery as anything. So I was quite happy with how I was feeling. All the sensations were good. I told you I'd done that like super compensation into taper. The legs were feeling good. I drunk loads of sodium bicarb, which I've done before the last couple of hill climbs as well. And I do find it just delays that pain that builds up in your legs. It gives you just a little bit more. I've just said something to myself, and I've got no idea what. On the left, up here, there was a sign for a defibrillator, which made me like morbidly laugh as you struggle for breath. And this is a little village called Starkholmes. On the left here is where Ryber really begins. What I've done so far is nothing. This is where the event takes place. Switchback, switchback, switchback. It's all wet. It's all leaf litter. It's all slippery. Earlier in the day, Tony Cope had told me, halve the pressure in your tyres, give or take. Your tyres are too pumped up, you're going to slip. When you're giving it everything, your head's not going to be thinking about balancing your weight as much. So I let my tyres down to 35 psi in tubeless. And I'm really glad I did, because I still got a little bit of wheel spin here and there. Atmosphere is phenomenal. Here's my dad, who's driven over in the morning to give me a hand. I don't know if you can hear that I said, "Thank you." I sounded horrific when I did that. And now, yeah, there's a few more switchbacks yet. Ryber is not done messing about. I don't believe 17%. It's got to be steeper. It's got to be steeper. When I recce'd this, I really struggled to get through. So, yeah, I don't have much more technical to say other than I was happy with my prep. I was happy with the sensations, but at this point, I could tell that I'd gone really, really hard. And I really did have no choice but to just push. There's Top Cat telling me stick to the left. It's the driest, it's the least slippy. I'm still veering out a bit, as I imagine frustrated him quite a lot. But I only got one little slip, and otherwise it was all pretty good. I didn't really have many issues on this climb. So I'm going to get stick probably for my cadence being 50 to 60, but I don't know what. I don't believe anyone would be doing any different really, unless you're an absolutely top hill climber. I'm just stamping out here. And I knew now that I was on the final straight. The atmosphere here is incredible. I didn't have a final kick to give. I believe I had well metered out my power all the way through. I wanted to stand up and stamp out a strong final effort, but I tell you what, it just wasn't there. I'm not embarrassed about that at all. This was a strong effort for me, even if there are no fireworks at the end. I was really happy, and as it levels off, yeah, you hear me changing up gear and standing up and my body just going, no. So I came 15th overall on that, which I'm really happy with. And as you can see here, my average power was a power PB of around 6.4 watts per kilo, 425 watts. That's really a significant power PB. So really happy with climb 1, Ryber. Hill climb 1's done. That was Ryber. Results are in. I finished 15th. It was a power PB for the duration, which is good. I didn't feel great at the top. I still don't feel great, and I got bank in 2 hours. But I'll be fine by the time we get there. So, Dad's here, and we've gone for lunch. I've got nasi goreng because I figured it's mostly rice. It'll be a good thing to tide me over just in Matlock, and then I'll have to get spinning again so my legs don't seize up. But hopefully I'll feel better with a bit of food and plenty of fluids in me. What an absolute privilege to be able to warm up and keep my legs spinning with views like this. And the joy of Matlock is there's just hills everywhere. They're not that long, but they're steep and they're really impressive. So my prep for this hill climb season has been pretty half-arsed, and I'm a bang average cyclist, so I hate making these videos and talking to you about what prep I've done, because nothing I do is to be an example to you. But what I do want to say is, I believe I've noticed a benefit from beta-alanine supplementation and using sodium bicarb. I'm never going to use bicarb for a Zwift race. The side effects are too horrible. I wake up with headaches the next day. But they get the most out of me. And also, I do believe the super compensation I did and the taper really helped me for this. So there's just something I'd share. I don't want to sound like too cringy. I'm not Matthew Norway telling you how the fjords are alive and you can feel the spirits of generations before us. But this is a special place, I think, Matlock. I've just come to do a random back road that I've ridden down with David and co in the past. And it's just magnificent. It's cold today, it's proper cold today. But it's so beautiful here. This place is incredible, this valley. Something poetic. I don't know, let's pretend I'm an articulate man. I'm just spinning now ahead of bank, and doing these climbs has made me realise how much I appreciate the support of everyone around me. My dad has driven out of his way. He's driving from Liverpool to Brighton today and has come via Matlock to watch me do a hill climb. Mental. Top Cat gave me advice at the beginning of that climb, but he was also de-essing me through it. Like when I hit the corner, to have someone of Tony Cope's calibre of hill climb saying, stick left Nick, it's drier, keep your head up, watch for this, watch for that. I mean, that's incredible. And I've now got a really long message to read from Piglet of advice for bank So I'm going to leave it here and keep recovery spinning. I'm just having the best time. Thank you very much. So as you can see, my headspace was really good here. And something I talked about with Piglet afterwards was, yeah, you're only driving across the country to do a 3-minute climb or whatever, and you can replicate that at home or on your local hill. But you don't. I promise you, you do not perform on your local hill or on your turbo trainer the way you do at an event like this. They get you to your next level. So next was Bank Road, which is shorter but steeper at almost 14% for about 0.6 kilometers. This isn't the whole Bank Road, just like Ryber wasn't the whole Ryber climb. It's a hill climb section of said climb. And on Bank, I thought it was so important to show you the rear view so you get a feel for what this climb is like. I've never ridden anything like it. I do not believe Matlock is as good as North Wales for cycling for what I like to do, but there is nothing like this near me. It was exceptional. It's a high street of a town that is 14% average, wide enough that you can see from bottom to top. It feels like San Francisco or something. And I've ridden this climb before. I knew roughly that I had to save something back. So the way I split the pacing was really hard start, basically to get the benefit from my skin suit. I thought maybe that would give me an edge to get speed up on the shallow bit. Now here, I'm holding something back. I've just absolutely fucked a gear change, and I reckon that cost me a few seconds, unfortunately. There's nothing else to say about that. Happens to everyone, I'm sure. And I knew that from this crossroads to the top is the steepest section, and where I would have to really start ramping the power up. So I got to that crossroads, the wall of noise, just absolutely exceptional. Unambiguously, from here to the top, you've got to go all out. It's where all the people are. The vibes are amazing, the feel is amazing. Look behind me, it looks sensational that I've gone up this wall. And Piglet gave me advice at the beginning. He said, remember why you're here and remember why you love cycling, because you're going to need something to get you up that final 100 metres. And I would have sat up here. I promise to God, I was right on the verge of going, I can just stop. And I had to think about that. And that's why I changed into a harder gear and just crank it out. If I hadn't have read those words before doing this, I would have been 10 to 20 seconds slower, because I would have cruised this final bit. I really didn't think I had that in me. So the power I did will not be phenomenal, you'll see when we get there. But it was beyond anything I thought I was capable of, and I'm just so happy that I managed to get it out. First time ever that the steward had to catch me. I wouldn't have stayed upright on my bike had that guy in high vis not just grabbed me for a sec. And I get to here, unclip, and I just slump over the handlebars. That was every drop. That was absolutely every drop I had. So I'm very happy with that. Unfortunately here I had to zoom out to get myself on the results list, 23rd, so very mediocre. You can see where I slipped my gear, but once again, power PB, 475 watts-ish, I think that's 7.3-ish watts per kilo. And now I'll just leave you with a bit of footage I got when I was spectating the really fast guys. I don't know who the first person is, but the second is Andy Nichols, who won Ryber in the morning and came just about second on Bank in the afternoon. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Enjoy the rest of it. So I need to get home, but I just wanted to do a quick wrap up while it's fresh in my mind. But I've just finished Bank Road. I came 23rd, I think. I did 2 minutes 25. So compared to your Callum Browns, your Andy Nichols, I did nothing worth remarking. But after Ryber this morning, I'm really delighted with that. Like, that was a strong effort from me. Time to drive home. I've loved this. This is such a good event. It's well put together. It's nice sort of racing the same people twice. You make friends. You sort of like support each other, actually. There are a couple of guys, Will and Andy, I think it was, from the Team Top Cat races with, who I
sort of kind of knew who they were before this. We've Zwift raced together, me and Will. And every time you see him, it's like, oh, how you getting on? How you feeling about the next one? How have you performed? And it's genuinely not like a, I want to see if I'm beating you or you're beating me. It's like, we're all in this together against the hill, and I'd like to see how you're getting on. So that was cool. 15th and 23rd. It sounds bad, doesn't it? Or it sounds like not good, but I'm absolutely chuffed. I've had such a good day. I'm knackered. 2 good efforts for me. Two whopping efforts. 2 hours home now. I'm going to go slowly and carefully because it's all through the Peak District. I've got a box of Costco beignets, they're called. They're Nutella donuts. Call them chocolate hazelnut beignets. You want to be fancy, but they're Nutella donuts. I might eat all of them, even though I've probably only burnt like 500 calories total today. Right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, guys.